Hey, have you ever decided to barrel age your own blends or your own whiskeys just to see what the flavor changes would be? Well, if you are, stay tuned because I have a treat for you. Cheers, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bourbon. So happy to get back to normality and start doing these. It'd been normality. Once I started going on vacation in November, things just fell apart and we weren't having too many episodes. So really glad to be back, and we got Cody here with us. We're going to film a couple episodes today because we have a cocktail to do for tomorrow. Yeah. But I've been thinking, Cody was really interested in doing some barrel aging at his house. And so my wife and I bought him a small barrel, and then he bought a couple for friends, actually family, for Christmas. And we've had a really good run of aging different liquors, different alcohols for close to 5 years now. Right? Yeah. About 5 years, maybe even 6. So we began this process not knowing anything at all and just winging it most of the times. The very first time we followed a specific criteria setup that the barrel sent. But otherwise, we've really kind of winged it.
Yeah, the first time was like the generic, you buy the concentrates.
Yeah.
Flavoring and color.
And vodka.
And then I don't even think you actually had to put it in a barrel, but...
Yeah. No, I think you were supposed to. So
then you put it in a barrel till it gets fine.
So we began about 5 years ago with a very small 5-liter barrel. This one on the end. And we quickly, within a year or two, escalated to a 5-gallon barrel, 20-liter barrel.
You did. You just kept wanting to go bigger.
I do.
You were making plans to get a 15, and then you did the math on how many handles of whiskey or vodka you.
Now I'm pretty sure my wife said no.
Yeah, I was getting to that because you were like on board. Everyone else is like crazy person.
It is a lot of fun. It is really interesting, but is it actually worth it? And that's what we're here to discuss. And when should you actually start involving other people is also a big thing. Because
for something this size, immediately.
So let's talk about barrels. We have a smattering, like my word of the day. We have some barrels here. We have this little 1-liter barrel that I have never set up because it's not. It's to me, I call it a gimmick barrel.
It's a dispenser barrel.
It's a dispenser barrel. There's actually a plastic coated lining bag inside.
It's a bag inside.
And you can put a little dispenser on there and you can fill it up and you can just have it and pour it. And
it's like those, like your globes and other things to where you just a little...
And I've never put it together. I need to. I think this would be good for if you're going to batch a Texas brush fire and an old fashioned or something, just to have. But I prefer the bottle. So never put it up. I thought I would put it up as some sort of decorations in the bar, but the bar is completely full. Now that I'm... getting a much bigger bar, I might have room for it, and I might put something in it.
Well, and you haven't even set up your fancier versions, like your globe.
Oh, yeah.
Or the other globe.
Or the airplane, or I got tons of stuff.
Yeah.
I got lots of dispensers. That's what happens when you are in whiskey collecting is people give you glasses, which I actually enjoy.
And
but most people don't because they already have too many. And dispensers or decanters. So that's a whole gift-giving idea thing that maybe we should have done before Christmas, but we'll talk about it sometime.
Yeah, other people have done it better than us could.
And then we have a 2-liter,
yes,
a 5-liter, and a 20-liter.
Starting to wonder if this is more than 2 liters. Though it's stated in the little label that was on it that it was 2.
So these are all full except for this one. And we began the process, as Cody said, with this one. I got this, and I got it engraved for Bourbon and Booze and whatever, as just a fun thing to do. And we began to start aging liquor. And the first thing we did was we bought the bourbon essence. And I forget how many we had to have, but it was quite a few. And then we did it with vodka, and we aged it for like 4 months. And it turned out fairly good. It's on the table here.
It's going to be that little one.
No. I thought it's on the table. Maybe it's not. First batch. Okay. So
is
this
that first batch big barrel?
Yeah, from 2018, May of 2018. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Now we're on 24. So we're going. It'll be 6 years this May.
Wow.
And we ended up getting.
I haven't tasted that in a long time.
12.
It was only in there for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Because on the first run, you don't age it very long because the smaller barrels age faster. And you also.
How many handles was it? Was it 6?
3 fills this. Have handles.
Handles. Okay, so 3 175s fills that.
And there's just a little left.
And we ended up with almost 6 of these bottles
Each.
because no, it's just about 6 because there was some Angel's share. Oh, it's 80 proof.
I forget, man. Not on the first one. There wasn't as much Angel's share on the first one.
And there's not much left of this, but out of vodka in that barrel, you can see it turned out a beautiful color. There's no coloring in this.
No, the essence did have coloring.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it did.
The essence had coloring. That's why it's such a beautiful color.
Yeah. When you smell it, it smells like a low-budget whiskey.
Very
like,
low budget.
I think it's a little bit better than, say, Kentucky Deluxe, but on par with Kentucky Gentleman.
No, we've done Kentucky Gentleman. Kentucky Gentleman's much better. You just started hating on it for some random reason. You still like it.
That's when you smell it. But when you taste it, it definitely has that kind of vodka type essence. It's weird. It is weird.
It's got a weird bitterness to it.
Yeah.
Like mapley.
Yes. Overly mapley, but a kind of a sour mapley. It's different. And so we quickly learned that was not for us.
Not the route we wanted to go.
Not the route we wanted to go. So we decided on the next barrel, and I can't tell you how many we've done with this small barrel. This one
7.
over here. 7, 8. I mean, because we've done lots of different things.
Yeah.
But on the second one, we decided we were going to make our own essence.
Yeah, so we essentially made, I think they have kits and stuff for you to do it online, is to make like extracts.
Yeah, we basically made extracts, homemade extracts. So we took we took a bunch of little tiny baby mason jars and put Everclear in them because we wanted high concentrate, high alcohol.
And then lots of different
things from cherries to chocolate to bananas to you name it.
And isn't that one of the main uses for Everclear anyways? Why it's still made is for people to make high concentrate extracts?
No idea. Bitters or something?
Yeah, something
no
like
idea.
That.
You guys can leave those in the comments. So we did that, and then we let them sit for about 4 weeks or so. And I think that we'd already tried this barrel and there was still stuff in it. But we sat there and we decided to let this sit for about 4 weeks. And then we took little samples of each, and we all sat down and we were doing all sorts of math stuff.
Oh, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. We were doing little, 3 dashes this, 2 dashes this. We had a bunch of pipettes.
Doing lots of
and we all came up with our favorites, and then took the commonalities between that, and eventually came up with something that actually turned out really good.
Because we had also put some staves in a vodka bottle to age it as well, so we were mixing it with some just wood-aged vodka and the plain vodka. It was fun. It was fun.
So the second batch, which I thought was here, that's maybe not.
I don't know that it is.
Yes. No, that's the big barrel. The second batch isn't here. In my office, which is going to be my bar because it's twice as big, there's 60 bottles there. There's a lot of bottles.
Because you don't.
And that's just mine. That's not what you guys got.
We drink ours.
So we get 6
you just hoard
6
yours.
or so bottles. The second batch turned out great, but again we used vodka. Third batch we kind of
we did Kentucky Gentleman.
Yeah, we did a blend of Kentucky Gentleman.
No, just Kentucky Gentleman.
Is that it?
Just Kentucky Gentleman.
Okay, just Kentucky
Gentleman. And that
Gentleman.
one turned out really good.
And it was in there. So the longer you age them, or the more you use the barrel, the longer it's got to be aged. So we did a Kentucky Gentleman one. Turned out great. Much better than Kentucky Gentleman.
I regret that I don't have any left.
I do. Batch 3.
I'll steal some.
Batch 4 we did with a combination of probably Kentucky Gentleman or Ancient Age, because this was just before we moved to Evan Williams 101, or Evan Williams 100.
I think it was even a couple more after that.
Might have. And we aged it, and it actually, is it here? It's this one. By the time we got to the 5th batch, oh, that one? What's that?
Second batch Big Barrel, which is the Everclear first
The 5th
one.
batch, we started getting cloudiness.
I think you might
Because,
put Everclear in that.
Yeah, we did 50%, no, wait, I got
It's 105 proof. You put Everclear in that one.
yeah, 60% high proof classic, so there's Everclear, and then 40% was 100 proof Evan Williams, because we ended up liking Evan Williams the best, and it was cheaper than anything equivalent, and it was at 100 proof. So we added this one, and it comes out cloudy. We filtered it with coffee filters. I've even filtered a couple bottles with the Brita, but it still came out cloudy. And so we did the Everclear a couple times, and then we decided that no more. That high proof was just eating.
It also melts the barrel.
Yeah.
That's why this one looks all... It's harder to tell, but this here is from leakage of essentially barrel syrup.
Yeah, the higher the proof, the more barrel syrup.
In way less amount of time. Like in rick houses, they'll do it anyways, but they're aging for multiple years.
This smells like a high proof whiskey, just not a great whiskey. You are getting a little bit of that Everclear essence.
And I do believe we added water to
did we prove it down?
That did the 105.
Yeah, this is 105, so it would have been proof down.
And then same with the big
and we
barrel.
use distilled water.
Yeah.
So we don't use tap water. So I don't think that's contributing to that cloudiness.
No, it was already
the
like
Everclear.
that. It started melting the barrel.
That's actually really tasty, though. It does have that medicinal vodka Everclear kind of tones to it, but it's tasty.
Very woody.
Mm-hmm.
One of these was also directly after the Merlot, which we put
We
in.
also took, on the 5th batch, I took out of my collection, because, no, I'm sorry, I did not.
That was on the big batch.
That was on the big batch. So, after the 5th batch of this, then we started exploring with other things. We did do a Merlot for 2 months.
Yeah.
And not only did the Merlot taste good, but we did a traditional whiskey afterwards.
It was good.
And it was good. We've done tequila in there that
one was fantastic.
fantastic. We've done a scotch in there. Nope.
That one was also good.
The scotch was fantastic. And it was 4 different... Was it 4? 4 different...
it's so floaty.
Budget scotches. 4 different brands. And we put in there... No. This has only been bourbon. 4 different brands. Or maybe it's just 3. And it turned out great. And then we've done a barrel-aged gin. We put Taco 100
that
gin,
one also
London
turned
Dry.
out really good.
Absolutely fabulous. So we are contemplating what to do with this barrel, because it's been through 7, 8 cycles over the course of 5, almost 6 years now.
And what's currently in there is white rum.
Oh yeah.
Plain, cheap white rum. And I'm very much predicting it'll be in there for at least another year, and it's already been in there a year.
So,
if not
been in
more.
there since October. Lift the spout. Oh, no, you don't need to. So a plain white rum, and as you can see...
But it also just recently started picking up some heavy color because of the cold.
I'm not a rum person.
That one it's turning out great, but I think it's another year at least.
I don't really care for the flavor, or the aroma, but the flavor is fabulous. I could drink that now.
It's drinkable now, but just imagine how good it'll be in a year or 6 months. We'll see. I think it's going to be at least another year because it's aging so slowly.
Right. Trying to figure out what we're doing with that barrel next. Haven't really.
Which is also another reason why you should leave it in there until you're absolutely happy with it, because it delays the amount of time before you have to spend more money.
You always want.
You always want stuff in there, so you don't empty it till you already have the stuff in hand, and it's too expensive right now.
Yeah, it'll dry up. And then we do rinse it with water between cycles half the time we don't.
I don't think we've ever done that with this one.
Yeah, with that one we have.
Oh.
So this is the big one. I bought this at Balcones. No, actually I ordered this online, but it was stamped by Balcones from the, I forget the name of the barrel company.
Because Balcones resold it. It had Balcones whiskey in it, I thought. It's a used barrel.
Yeah, it's a once used.
Once used barrel.
And we started this, and our first batch is somewhere in here. That's second batch.
I think it'd be that one.
Fourth batch.
So you don't have it in here?
Fifth batch. Don't I?
Nope.
First batch. Oh, no, I guess I don't have it. So, we did this. This takes...
The first batch was in just a larger amount of the one we used in this.
Yeah,
the essence batch.
This takes 12 handles.
Yeah, and we did the exact same thing that we did with this one, but just more of it. Right. And then I think we added.
So initially, this was kind of my experiment that I brought in Cody and Andy, and eventually we got Alex involved. And so we just transitioned into the big barrel. So there's 4 of us. And this one, this is only on its 3rd batch. The first batch was the normal with the high proof. No?
The first batch was the Essence one, and then we did the Everclear.
Oh, we made Essence. We made our homemade Essence.
Or we added the Everclear to it after. Yeah. No, we did the Essence one with the Everclear. I don't remember. So we did. You're supposed to write this down. You're the scribe.
So we did do a couple batches in this.
We always drinking when we're doing
one of them, I took my bottles, separated them out, and it was a pretty good. The first batch was really good, I thought, and that's the one we did. I took my bottles out, and I added spires that had been soaking in port or rum or tequila, cognac, sherry, and.
It was vodka.
Something else.
But you added Evan Williams 100 to refills to Evan for angel share and to flavoring. And that one turned out really good. And then the next one we did only Evan Williams 100 and Everclear. And that's when it started leaking.
Yeah, and turned cloudy again.
And getting really cloudy.
That's this one.
This one.
Did you taste it?
No. But it is actually good. It's really good.
It's actually really good. And don't trust me. I mean, you can trust me. But we've had friends over that try it too, and they like it.
Yeah.
Oh, and it smells really good. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's get away from the cloudiness. You could drink that all day. It's got a little bit of aftertones. But the aged ones with my spirals, I have 2 bottles each of all of those. Those are great. The sherry's the best. Tequila's the best, or the second best. But
then
they're
we did
awesome.
a bourbon blend.
So now, we did a bourbon blend?
Mm-hmm. Remember we all bought 3 handles of something?
Okay. So we bought 3 handles.
That one also turned out fantastic.
That one's, that's the 3rd batch. That was Evan Williams 100, Ancient Age, old...
Colonel Lee?
No. Old Crow, but then another old, and I can't think of it. Very Old Barton.
There you go.
100. So 2 100s, 2 80 proofs.
One thing you should really take from this, write stuff down.
Yeah.
Because we did not do that, and we are now struggling to remember.
So we blended that, and it was in this barrel for over a year, 14 months.
16, 14 months. The last one
and
was for sure.
Absolutely fabulous. And because we live in Texas, and sometimes we throw it outside, sometimes we keep it inside, the proofage went from, it should have been 90, because it's 2 100s and 2 80s.
So we've only recently done that.
Yeah. It was.
And it definitely makes a big difference on this current.
It went up to 116.
Yeah.
So it went from 90
Well, it was
to
also in a
116.
hot closet through the summer heat.
Yeah, we did lose a bit too.
Just inside.
We did lose a bit. So currently what we have in there, we have 6 people involved in this one. 6 people. And we bought a cast strength last call bourbon. And we put 2 handles of a...
Paul Mason Peach Brandy.
Huh?
Paul Mason. No, it wasn't Paul Mason, but Peach Brandy.
Yeah, Peach Brandy. Was it Paul Mason?
I don't think so.
Then it was the other one. J and...
Yeah, it may have been
H and J or whatever.
Paul Mason.
I don't know. We did a peach brandy in it for 2 months. Sloshed it around. I think it was only 2 or 3 handles.
Just 2.
2. And kept turning it every day. Get it. Pulled it out.
Lies.
I didn't like the peach brandy. But when it came out of this...
Much better.
Holy crap.
Much better. If we had just left it in there, it would have turned out even better.
It was
That's
absolutely
on my list
fabulous.
for my barrel is some brandy.
So this has been going since... I write these things down. I gotta get on this side of the camera. So, Paul Mason Peach Brandy. It was done on March 5th. And on April 10th, so just basically a month, we put the first call. So, it's coming up on its first year this April. We keep testing it. There's a little bit of argument between the 6 of us if it's ready to bottle or not. I think we're still keeping it in there.
I think at least
most
a few months.
Specifically because we haven't decided what to refill it with.
That too.
And so we got to come up with that. But does the experiment work?
Yeah.
Yes. It definitely changes
for
the
this
flavors.
one alone, we stuck it out for a month. And it was still kind of warm, I think, when we put it out. And then it got cold. And when it got cold, we pulled it back in. No, we stuck it out when it started to get cold. I don't know.
Putting it out in the cold made a huge difference.
Yeah, when we put it out in the cold, it changed
Pushed
instantly.
all of that in, all that stuff that was in the wood into
I took a sample before we put it out, and then we tasted it after it came back in, and I took a sample. And it's
And it was only like 2 weeks or something.
1 month.
1 month. Massive color change, massive flavor change.
Massive flavor change. And so I took another sample for it sitting in here when it's going to be getting fluctuating temperatures because of winter time, and he likes to have fires that roast the house down. It'll probably age even faster.
So the question is, does it work? Yes, it works. I think this is a much better process if you have the room than doing the staves. I don't really care about bottle staving. We've done that. I do like to do the bottle staving for like a finish. If you want to get a finish,
and do the same like mixing.
But they do sell the bottle staves specifically to turn vodka into whiskey,
or to age a cheap whiskey,
or age it cheap. And I guess the longer you keep it in, the
which
better.
is the main factor. And
the reason I like the finish is because not only do you have the wood charged stave, but it's also soaked with whatever you're finishing it in. So I also suggest you start small, go big. Probably the 2 liter right there that Cody's got, which he'll talk about in just a minute, is probably the best to start off. This would probably be the tops. This
excessive.
I know groups.
A very dedicated friend group.
I know a group that I associate with, but I'm not involved in their shenanigans. They do 53-gallon barrels, and they have 4 of them.
A lot of members buying.
No, not actually. I think they have like 20.
Oh.
That's
still quite a few people.
Yeah, but that's a lot of liquor. And so, obviously, it has to stay in there longer and all that. And I would worry that, for some reason, the police think that I...
Making
it and stuff.
Not. You're buying already aged stuff.
We do save the bottles to refill.
Cocktail mixing.
Yeah. So, I prefer these kind of bottles for my bar.
Your 60 bottles of this sitting on the floor in your room is a little suspicious till you walk in here, and then you're like, that's just a small collection.
But that's how we get started. I definitely think it's a fun adventure. It's really cool to see the different things. A lot of experimenting. Everything, or whatever this was, a little peppery.
Well, and I'd also...
It's just absolutely amazing. So, my wife and I bought Cody that for...
Yeah, because I've been talking
your
about
birthday,
getting
right?
a small barrel to branch out into doing my own things, and also work on trying to see if it's repeatable. Because it'd be really nice to know that I could get another 2-liter barrel in 10 years, look up my recipe because I'm trying to write it all down, and go and buy the same stuff that I'm hoping to always pick stuff that's available. And so that you could just be like, I want some of this batch number 3 that I aged, and I just do that sequence and can have it again.
So as a 2-liter barrel, it's just under 2 handles?
I think this may be a little bit over 2 liters, and so it might take 2 full handles almost.
Okay. Because a handle is 1.75. And so
but 3 bottles went into this, and it still didn't come to the top.
3 bottles of?
3 750s.
Oh, 750s, yeah. Which would be, just over 2 liters.
And I have been taking a few little tastings, but not that much.
And he put in a distillery moonshine at 80 proof from Iron Root. Iron Root makes a moonshine. He put it on the floor to get it out of the way. Iron Root Distillery has
90 proof.
Okay, 90 proof. And so I don't know his placement in his house or anything like that, but when all is said and done, it'll most likely be, because of Texas, depending on how long you leave it in there. You're doing it over winter, but it'll probably be right around 90 to maybe 100.
Well, and it's not in the warmest part of my house, but it isn't a place where it could get warm, so.
And so he's going to name this cat hair whiskey. The people at Iron Root, at least a couple people, are really interested because they've never aged the moonshine.
Specifically only taken this moonshine.
Yeah,
this
that
is in a lot of their products, they said, but not this alone as its own age.
So we'll be taking samples up there, but definitely think it's worth it. It can be expensive. It is time consuming. Make sure you have the space for it. Don't go overboard right away. Try something else smaller. Even the staves, if you want to try that, but I'm not a huge stave fan.
In my opinion, it would also be better that if you really like it and you want to do more, is don't still go for a bigger barrel, have multiple smaller barrels, so you can play with a lot of different things. And so if you don't want to mix, say you want to age your scotches or just age only ryes, you could have your separate barrels and even switch them back and forth to do different things.
I think that I would definitely choose a whole bunch of either these or these.
Yeah, this would be the max size I would go, and I would only size. After I find something that I want to see if I can make more of to have more of. Because
now, finally,
it's fun
the big question: how much do they cost? I have no idea how much this costs.
That would probably be like $20, $30.
Because it's not real. Yeah. This cost like $40, $50, I think.
50 to 70.
Yeah, we got it at Woodinville and had them break a kit because they sell their moonshine with this and some glasses and stuff.
Lots of distilleries will sell their new make to put in their barrels that they brand.
And so we were traveling by plane and couldn't really hold the kit, and so they gladly broke it apart and just sold us this. This cost me like $75, $80.
I think if it was unengraved, it would have been around that $70, $80 mark at the time. And then you engraved, and it was like $100.
This was $120, which I feel was a little expensive now that I look back. But at the time, I was like,
well, it's also a used Balcones barrel. Yeah. So you have the Balcones.
This is also a 5-gallon, 5 liter. So a lot of small distilleries use this size. So you might be able to get a once fill from them on the cheap. I can get a 15
maybe
from my friends at the distillery, but
that would be expensive too.
That'd be expensive to fill because this is 12 handles, so that would be 36 handles.
And you are going to get some serious bad looks at the liquor store when you're buying out all their cheap.
You can't get Evan 100 that much anymore.
Yeah.
So. All right, so this video is running long, but we just wanted to share about barrel aging. Is it worth it and stuff? But let us know in the comments your experience with barrel aging, because I know a lot of you are out there are doing it. Tell me what kind of cool results you have. Tell me any horror stories as well. Let us know. That's really interesting to read, and maybe we'll highlight them in a future episode when we crack this baby or this baby and share what's.
Well, a good way to think about how you're doing with this is that it's cocktail making on the long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very long term.
To be honest with you, this one here is probably going to be a batch cocktail in the future.
The next thing in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be a dispenser probably after this.
Yeah,
because it's going to take a couple more years.
So tell us what you think. Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. It means so much to us. And I hope you have a happy new year. Look forward to tomorrow. We're doing a cocktail. Cody's already figured it out. I think it's a warm, heated coffee.
Yeah,
cocktail.
I figured it out.
Okay. We're going to film it in a few minutes. So, all right.
What? No, that's for tomorrow.
Have a great holiday.
Film one episode at a time.
I am going to say there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey.
We don't always make
some of these can't be classified as whiskey. So, cheers.
Sometimes we make bad long-term cocktails.